Hello and welcome to a new video. Finally doing a tour for this book. I know a lot of you have been waiting a while and I'm finally filming it. I finished this one a little while ago now. I've currently been working in my new one. I've got a nice range of stickers on the front, so I will just put the artists who made each one on the screen now. And then I also have a few on the back. This one's mine, this one, and this one. This is just a picture I got off of the internet that I printed. And then I'll tag these artists on the screen. Sketchbook 15. This is a Leuchtturm 1917. It's one of my favourite brands. Yeah, so this is the first page. This is the title page that I did a video for, which will be linked somewhere if you want to check that out. So I started it on the 11th of August last year and I finished it on the 5th of May this year. Did that take me 9 months? Is that right? Wow, that took a while. Yeah, I decided to go slowly with this book because in previous books I started putting a lot of pressure on myself to make everything look finished, so I wanted to take my time a little bit with this one. So here I've got my OC Cowboy clay. Then over here I've just got some things stuck in, so these are from Shay. Just a little drawing she did of two of my horses, which I love so much. It is so cute. And then under here there is a hidden devil fruit because I get into One Piece at some point in this book. Then just a Hannibal meme thing that you can barely even see, Strike Eureka from Pacific Rim, and some Merlin art and Five Nights at Freddy's. So because this book always has like a weird page stuck together at the beginning and at the end, I usually use it to thumbnail my title page, which is what I've done here. So starting off, this sketchbook is a collaboration video I did with The Last Coffee Bean. That will be linked as well. But we basically we both came up with 2 prompts, and so we had a total of 4 prompts at the end, and we both did our own thing, made a video of it, and then posted the videos, and that was the first we saw of each other's responses to the prompts, and it was so fun. I really loved doing that, and you should definitely go check out The Last Coffee Bean's video and channel because I love their art so much. It's so good. They are one of my biggest inspirations for making YouTube videos, so definitely go check them out. They will be linked. So I'm not going to talk too much about these pages because I talk about them a lot in the video, so if you're interested, yeah, go check out that video. Oh, I can't feel my feet. So this is a page of Price and Gaz from Call of Duty. I love the characters so much, so I did some fan art of them here again because I was playing it again, I guess. Then over here is some art of Medusa from the game Stray Gods, which is a musical game about the Greek gods, which was a really fun game. I watched Gabby play it, Gabby Smolders. I'm typically not a huge fan of musicals, like there are a couple exceptions, especially if I just really like the song. But this game, I think because I really like Greek lore and stuff, this game was just really intriguing and I really enjoyed it, and I kind of was obsessed with it for a little bit to the point where I'm kind of sick of the songs. But yeah, I just drew some fan art for the game. Of course, Apollo was voiced by Troy Baker, so I'll give you one guess who my favourite was. And they all did their own singing, which was really, really cool. They all have amazing voices. Then I did a double spread of Pacific Rim because I was like obsessed with that as well. And it took me like a week to paint this. I wanted it to be like a rainbow kind of spread, and I had so many plans to do like lots of fan art for Pacific Rim, but because this took so long, by the time I finished I was kind of like out of the obsession because my obsessions are just like quick and sudden, like I have them all the time and then they're just done. That's why this is it. And then I got Baldur's Gate, my next obsession. Baldur's Gate 3 specifically. I think everyone already knows that, but yeah. That game, oh my god, it was so good. It really it took over my life for a while, and I played it with my brother. Our first blind run we played together, and it was so funny, and it was so fun. And I, of course, loved Gale, but then by the end of it, I kind of hated him because the game was still really buggy at that point. So by Act 3, even though I'd been romancing him and I'd hit a couple of like the triggered steps, by Act 3 he kind of like dumped me without telling me. The romance just stopped and he acted as if like it hadn't been happening, so I was kind of annoyed because it just stopped. It undid itself. So yeah, I was a little annoyed with that, but I just had to do some drawings. I love Halcyon as well. This is my girl. She is a tiefling named Agnes, and this was my dream character. I can't remember what they're called, but they're the person that visits you in your dream. Oh yeah, there's Agnes. And then a little owl bear, because I love... The owl bear is so cute, and Scratches. Yeah, I did this on a separate piece of paper because I'd drawn some Final Fantasy 14. I don't remember which one is the online one, but my brother and I got we tried out the like free trial or whatever, and it was not for us. We didn't enjoy it at all. I really liked my little character. His name is Elliot Moon, so I doodled him on this spare piece of paper because I think I was like transitioning between sketchbooks. He's so cute, he's so small, and he has little stars on his cheek, which I'm obsessed with. But yeah, so I decided to use the other side to draw some Baldur's Gate because it felt like a bit of a waste. I didn't know how to include it. And then there's just some more. We got Gale a proper wizard's hat, and it was amazing, so that's why I drew it here, and I love it so much. And then this is a spread I did for the Sanjoki marker video, which will also be linked. I mentioned it in the comments of that video, but the pens start bleeding yellow everywhere after a while. I think it's any pen that has yellow pigment in it, it will, if it's touching another piece of paper, it will likely transfer yellow onto it, because like aside from these bits here, I didn't put any yellow on this page, on this spread. So every piece of yellow that you can see has come from it touching something else, so like over here. And thankfully it hasn't ruined anything, but it is still kind of annoying, and I've stopped using those markers because of it. And it's bled a little bit underneath, and then there's like loads under here, considering I didn't put anything on this page, so that's just like bled through from the page I just lifted. It's very frustrating, and if you have those pens, I do not recommend using them in a sketchbook. Perhaps if you're just going to use them for a single piece of paper that you plan on framing or something, that would probably be fine, but do not put them in something that you don't want to get yellow. That's my advice. Yeah, then I put a drawing of Halcyon and Agnes here to cover up the bleed through from those previous pens. And then here, this is when the One Piece live action series came out, which I was so surprised with how much I actually really enjoyed it. Like, I was kind of dreading it a little bit because in the past I haven't seen that many good live action adaptations, but this was amazing in my opinion. I know a lot of people out there didn't like it, but I personally loved it, and I thought all the actors did such an amazing job, and you could really tell that it was made by someone who loves One Piece. All the little details and how amazing everything looked, it was so good. And typical me, of course, I loved Buggy. I really liked him in the manga, and I haven't gotten to a point with him again in the anime, so I can't really say much about that. But in the manga, I really, really loved Buggy, even though that was back when I still kind of had a fear of clowns that I've since gotten over, but he was great. I loved him, so I did some drawings of him, and these two actually got turned into, I digitized them and I made some keychains for myself. I haven't sold them anywhere because this was honestly when I started realizing that I didn't want to make merch in the future, which is why I have recently. I've been selling all my stickers and stuff at like a super cheap price because I am closing my shop basically. As soon as those stickers are gone, I am not making any more merch. I will be using like third-party websites and stuff to do it. So yeah, these are the keychains. I made them with Vograce, and they came out so adorable. I'm so happy with them, and I am kind of in love with them. And then this one is it comes with two designs and a lanyard. So I'm really happy with how these turned out. This was done with the Sanjoki markers again, which is why there are kind of like some yellow lines over here. This was really fun to do, to just dive into One Piece, because I love One Piece so much. This is a page I did to plan out my dad's either birthday, I think it was his Christmas present actually. And he's a big fan of aliens, so I just decided to do a painting of a xenomorph. And it was just fun to plan it out, and I wanted to include it in the book because I also love the alien films. And then I just decided to throw up some more some more Baldur's Gate Astarion, and this is my new character who is a barbarian. And at this point I think I watched why can't I remember what it's called? Across the Universe. Across the Universe is a Beatles film. Across the Spider-Verse, I meant. Wow, that took my brain. I made a new spider character because I had previously made a cowboy one, but that was before I'd even watched the film. So yeah, this is when I think I had just bought the DVD and I loved it so much. And I made this graffiti spider who has 4 arms. I love her so much. She's like a bodybuilder, I think. Or she enjoys doing it. I haven't really delved into the lore of it too much. And over here, just some Hobie and Miles, because I love them. And Hobie is probably my favourite to have come out of that film. Then I did some Posca drawing thingy. I really loved the scene of Miles riding the spider horse, and then I thought it would just look cool to have Miguel here and just mess around with the colours, and it was a lot of fun. I do really like how it turned out. I did also include some pencil because I was struggling to get the finer details like on Miles's face. And then over here is just a drawing of Roxanne, who is my spider girl here. She's also called how can I read that? Aranakist. How do I say that? Aranakist. Yeah, because it's meant to be like anarchist, but it's Aranakist because it's like an arachnid. Yeah, just pretend that you get what I'm trying to say. Her name is Roxanne though, Roxanne Weaver, because you know, spider puns. And this is her just flexing her back, and then this is her without her mask. I don't know if that's what I want her to look like, but that was just me messing around with an idea of her. A Miguel, because, you know, he's kind of hot. The web slinger, I'm still gonna repeat. And then this is Roxanne talking with Webslinger, just a little doodle. It was mostly just to fill the space, but I do kind of like it. It's kind of cute and simple. Over here I painted Miguel with gouache, and I was also going to paint Miles and Gwen, but by the time I'd finished painting Miguel I was kind of like a bit burnt out. I didn't want to do anymore. I was like, it's good enough, it looks fine, I don't want to do it. So instead I went back into Baldur's Gate because of course, and I drew an Astarion, and I kind of wanted to make a pun because, you know, he has the word star in his name, so I was like, he's a star. And in my barbarian run, she's dating Halcyon and Astarion because my girl can't choose. She's like an innocent little soft person until she rages. Then there's some more One Piece. This is just a cute little page of Frankie and Robin because I rewatched Strong World and I love them together. They are really cute, and just their outfits in that film I thought was really nice. I guess it's just a fun film, so I just wanted to draw them together because I love them. And then this was a page I stuck in of ideas for chopper bookmarks. I never ended up making them, but I can make them in the future if I want. And I stuck it in to cover up the marker bleed through because this was then when I did the double page spread for the Ohuhu fine liners, which is another video, and I will link that somewhere as well. And then I decided to draw Frankie, Brooke and Robin again, but without any pre-sketching. I just thought it would be fun to mess around straight away with the ballpoint pen. Yeah, and it was fun. It didn't matter if it turned out good or not because it was on the other side of the bleed through, so That's why Brooke looks terrifying. And then a little drawing of Zorro, because I love Zorro. And over here is some cyberpunk drawings, because this was around the time that the Phantom Liberty DLC came out. So of course I gave my V a makeover and turned him into a sort of like nomad cowboy, because, you know, I was still going through the cowboy phase, so he needed to have a cowboy hat. Like, how can I play a character who isn't a cowboy, honestly? And then Idris Elba in that game. Oh my god, he's so good. I loved him. That DLC was a lot of fun. I don't think I have his face down, but I tried, so that's all that matters. And I did some more here. I do like this one. I don't think it looks exactly like him, but it is, I do still kind of like how it looks.
Have you ever had a dream that
then Somi and V, and then Merlin, because I got into Merlin properly. I watched it when I was younger, when it was coming out on TV, but I decided to try again. I love that show. It is not a good show by any means, like it's very cheesy and campy, but I think that's kind of the point, and it's definitely one of the reasons why I love it. And yeah, so I just had to do some fan art for it, because how could I not, you know? And Gwen is my favourite. Just so you know, Gwen is my favourite. So yeah, I did some more drawings, and some of them are from behind the scenes photos, so that's why they look strange. And I did a gouache painting of Arthur because I really wanted to, and I thought it would be fun to mess around with gouache again. And this, I really like this, and I think it was really great because how I did the armour here and his chainmail kind of like clicked something in my head that I think has kind of, it's changed how I colour things in general, I think, not just with gouache. I really like using colours that aren't necessarily there. You've probably heard me explain it a lot before, but this painting was really good for me, I think, and I just really like it. This is when the Last Coffee Bean did a Draw This in Your Style, and I was really excited to do that. So this page I used for planning out and getting a feel for her character. It's such a cute design, just the little unicorn head hoodie thing. I just really like it, and I was so excited to take part in it. So yeah, that was the planning for it, and then here I did the actual painting, which looks very different. The style is very different to what I usually do, but I really like it, and I'm just really happy with how the colours turned out. So yeah, that is stuck there. And then here is just some more Merlin. So we've got Leon, or Sir Leon, from Merlin, who is like probably my second favourite. Him and Gwen are usually tied. And then just a comic I did of a moment that happened in season 5 or something. I honestly can't remember. Then I did a painting of Arthur. I kind of wanted to do something dramatic. I was still really enjoying using gouache, so I wanted to do a painting of him walking into the lake to get Excalibur, why would I say that? I thought it would be cool to have him walking into the lake with his cape trailing behind him and like bleeding into the water like blood or like ink. I just thought it would be very dramatic. But doing it this size, I didn't give myself enough room to do the trail thing, so I did a little one here so that I could remember what the idea was, and I like both of them, honestly. This was the post-it note I did the idea on, and then just some more drawings of Merlin, Morgana, and Arthur and Gwen. Then, there's so much gouache in this book, or at least in the beginning half. I think I stopped using it at some point. I watched Wakanda Forever finally. I wasn't planning on watching like any of the Marvel films after a certain point. I can't remember when, because I was getting so disappointed with them. But I did really enjoy the first Black Panther, so I wanted to give the second one a go, and I'm so glad I did, because I really, really loved that film. I thought it was so good. The soundtrack was amazing. So I had to do some paintings of them, and these two are stuck in because I did it on some scrap paper. I have them here, and I think I was also like, it's a bit empty, which is why I stuck these two in, but then there's still really empty space up here because I did not plan this very well, and so Shuri gets covered a lot. This is when I was watching Penny play the new Spider-Man game, which I also really loved, and these were some keychain ideas because I was like, maybe I should make some. like actual 3D sculpted ones. I was going to sculpt them with Sculpey, but I didn't. This was like a vent page. I just decided to paint it, and then I covered it with dots, and then later I came back and stuck this beetle in because I didn't want to throw it away and I thought this page was boring. So on this page I don't really know what triggered it, but I wanted to design a new character, which I sketched out initially on these post-its here, but it's kind of hidden now. And she's a fighter. I named her Hazel, and I kind of wanted it to look like those side fighting games, you know, kind of like Street Fighter, or those really cute looking ones though, not because Street Fighter's not like, it's not cute, you know. She wears this little dress, but then she wears these big chunky trainers, and I really wanted the like kind of contradiction of it. I really like it. So yeah, I haven't done anything with her since. I kind of forgot she existed. But now I do, now I've done this, I'll try and remember her, because I do kind of like, I like this page and I like how she turned out. Here, here I was kind of feeling like I had a little bit of art block. I wanted to draw, but I had no motivation, you know. I'm not sure, I was struggling. So I decided to do a character creator challenge, and this one is by Cassie's Corner that I found on Instagram, I think. So these were the two characters that I got, and yeah, I don't love how they turned out, but it felt good to still make something even though I didn't love it. This side, I started making this character. Again, I don't know why, I just started making him. His name is Chip, and he's got like these marine tattoos all over him that I think is a really cool idea. So this one goes up his back and then it like curls over his shoulder here, so you can see like her hand peeking over as it is here. And she's caught in a net, and then this tentacle is like going through the net, and it joins up to this octopus that is on his booba. I think I was still in a Spider-Man mood, so I drew Roxanne again because she's got muscles and she's really cool. I've decided that they're friends, and this was all on one day, and I decided that he will be a canon event. So basically, within several hours of making him, I decided that he's dead. He's going to die. So that's great, you know? That's really nice. This is a bit of a mess of a page. This was around my birthday. My dad got me the art book of Across the Spider-Verse. It's such a good art book, by the way. It's so beautiful. There's so much in it, and all the character design pages are just everything. Yeah, Hobie was my favourite, so seeing all of his other designs and little doodles and stuff in that book, I had to draw him. I then also did these cute little versions of him because I was really enjoying drawing in this small style. This page is when I got into Five Nights at Freddy's. I think the film had been out for a little while at this point, and I finally watched it, and it was okay. It wasn't amazing. I already knew some Five Nights at Freddy's stuff because I had like seen the original games when they came out, but this film was kind of, yeah, I don't think I'll get into it. I did enjoy Josh Hutcherson's performance in it, maybe because he's a pathetic man, and you guys know how much I like pathetic men, but I was more drawn in by the animatronics, which I think is like what a lot of people like the series for, because they are the only characters. Like, there are no proper main characters except for like a little later, like in Security Breach and stuff. So I got really interested, and I think I saw like a couple videos talking about it, and I then went and started watching Markiplier playing the games. So I did some more fan art for them. I do not like this piece. I thought it would be fun, but it didn't turn out how I wanted it to, so you know, it's kind of, I try to forget about it. But over here I was drawing some more, I think his name is Mike, and I used some gouache, and I thought it'd be cute to use the "we're going on a bear hunt" thing from like that kid's book. And then here I was drawing Bonnie. This one's just Bonnie regular, and then this one is Bonnie from Security Breach, even though he's not like properly in that game. I delved into it a bit more, and I drew them more as like anthropomorphic characters, and it was so much fun because I don't typically do that kind of thing, so trying it out here, I loved it, and I really liked drawing the characters like this, and Bonnie is my favourite, which is why I made a little Bonnie sculpture, because I had to. And he's very creepy, which I guess is kind of the point, but I love him even though he's not perfect. I really, really love his creepy little face, and he is just like constantly watching, which is lovely. I did also make his guitar, but it's kind of 2D, so yay. This side is when I went to go visit my mum in France, so there was like kind of a jump, but I decided to paint them with gouache, which was a lot of fun, and again, I really love how glam rock Bonnie turned out. So then I was just like, I think I was in art block for a while because I was like enjoying just spending time with my mum and the animals, so I kind of just stopped doing art for a while, and I was just enjoying not doing it. I didn't want to do it. I then was like, I think I should try and do some more. So I started with this like flower thing, which I thought was really cute. I drew the flowers, I then painted over it with this orange rust colour, and then I went in and added some dark bits to make the kind of silhouette of the flowers stand out. And I was originally planning on actually like properly painting it, but then I could not be bothered, and I was like, you know, it's my sketchbook, I can do what I want, and if I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it. So yeah, I didn't. And then I found a stamp from one of the shops, so I put it here because it is a stag beetle, and I think beetles are really cool. Then I drew some dogs, well then I painted some dogs, because while we were at the shops there was this like, I think it was IPA or beer of some sort, in this small can, and it had some like beautiful art on it. I'll throw the picture up because I think I still have it, and it just made me want to paint dogs with like flowers and stuff, so I did these two, which was fun. And then I drew a cowboy because of course I did, but he's a demon cowboy because we were watching Supernatural, and I was like, let's make him a demon. And so this is just a mix of Tombow watercolor markers and just some black fine liner. I don't know how, at the moment it's symbolic, maybe he does have an actual coyote, but I want him to have a symbolism of a coyote in some way. So that's what that is, and I quite like how it turned out, and it makes for a very strange spread, but I think it flows probably because of this colour. It seems kind of consistent. So yeah, I drew some more of him because he's a demon who hunts other demons, so like this one here is saying that he's like turned on his kind. Yeah, it was just interesting and fun. And down here I was messing around with crayons because I bought some cheap crayons from IKEA, and I tried drawing a death's head a death's head moth, but it's kind of hard to get precision with crayons, but it was still quite fun. So yeah, because I was in the cowboy mood, of course I had to draw Arthur, because he is like one of the best cowboys out there, if not the best. You can fight me. I did that with alcohol markers, Ohuhu, and I also used their fine liners, and I really love how it turned out. It was kind of scary because I think I wasn't feeling my art. I was like, things weren't turning out exactly how I wanted them to, like with this page specifically, it was like putting me off. So I was really worried, but I really like how it turned out. And then I drew a deer here because if you played the game, it has like symbolism of wolves and deer, which I think is really cool. Here is another beetle with the crayons like I did with the moth, and then I thought it would be fun to use this page because it had the alcohol markers to just draw some biro beetles without a sketch first, and it was like a really fun challenge, and I really like how it turned out. And then on this side is some more Arthur and another deer because I was just really enjoying doing that. And then again I did the whole biro thing, but this time it was for Red Dead Redemption. So I drew some Dutch, cowboy, Arthur again, and then some deers messing around with like graphic design kind of thing. I don't know what you'd call it. And down here I drew on a sort of post-it note just this weird dream I had of a meme that I made up. and I was like, that's so weird that I dreamed of making a meme. So I drew it, and it is Zoro from One Piece, and it's weird. Just some more drawings of characters from Red Dead because I was really into it. Then I wanted to do a gouache painting of Arthur again, so I did this one here, and initially I wasn't liking it, but then when I added the line art I prefer it a lot more, and I did another deer and a cute little thing up here. These lines are meant to be like there's a little fire up there, but I think it just looks like a really weird tree. I drew Javier again, this one with alcohol markers, and then this one's just a sketch of him, but this might be like my favourite drawing I've ever done of him. And it's so small, but yeah, I really like how it turned out. And then I just did some like scenery from the game to just fill the space. Yeah, this page is kind of weird. I did a crayon drawing again of a rock configuration mountain thingy from the game, and it's alright, it turned out okay. It's very like impressionistic, I think. And then I wanted to draw some more Javier. These two turned out really weird. This one's better, but still kind of odd. And then I did a drawing of Arthur that I feel like it looks so young, like it looks like such a young version of him. And then gouache painting of John Marston because I also love him. I drew a knight character. I'm not really sure why. I just had an idea for like some clothes that a knight character could wear, so I drew her here and I coloured her in to make it easier to differentiate from things, but she's blue for some reason. And then I drew my cowboy characters, my cow people, Clay and Sunny, and I really like how they turned out here. I really like that sketch here. Oh, this is so faded. On this page, there's a kingfisher stamp, like the Beatles stamp, I found one. This was like a printed thing of Arthur and Javier, but it has faded so much. Like this fading was like normal because it was like the first time using it, I think, but it has faded so much more. I'm really upset that that's faded because I've also used these like printer label things. I've used them more later in the book, so if they fade over time, that really sucks. Okay, so it's a different day now. I had to stop halfway through filming last time, so let's just carry on. Up here I have some of the horses from Red Dead. I can't remember whose is who out of these two, but one of them is John Marston's and the other is Sadie's. And this one is Boaz, who belongs to Javier. And I wanted to draw them in a sort of carousel looking way because I'd like just found a cheap carousel at the shop that I was planning to repaint. That didn't go so well, so. This is a painting of Javier, which I really like. He is being lit by the fire. He's sat in front of a campfire, and so that's why I really like the look of the colours, and I wanted to just make it magical. So yeah, because I was so into the carousel vibes, I wanted to have a go at making my own stamp. So I started by doing a sketch here. These were some thumbnails in case I wanted to do a different idea, but this is the one I ended up going with. So I did a sketch which I then took a photo of and cleaned up in Paint Tool Sai. So then I went back on the original and painted it with gouache because I really wanted to paint it, but I also didn't want to just leave the plain sketch. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's so colourful. So yeah, this was the digital version of it, and this is what it actually looks like after I stamped it. I had a lot of trouble actually stamping it and getting a consistent look. We tried ink and acrylic and it looked really funky. And I think I actually have the lino cut stamp here. Hang on. Here it is. It looks really gross because it has been stained with all the paints that I've used on it. This took so many days because if you know me, if you've been watching my channel for a bit or on Instagram, you'll know that I have quite weak wrists. This one especially after I had an accident. It really hurt cutting out this stamp, and even it hurt my left arm because I was constantly bracing on it. So this took a while, and it helped me realise I don't want to make any more stamps, or at least not of this size. And it's just on this lino board that my mum had and she let me steal. It was a fun experience though, because now I have that stamp so I can just figure out how to properly use it. And then here are just some doodles that I wanted to fill the space with. So this is my girl Cara. This is a creature called Behemoth that I made up when I was messing around with crayons one time. And this is just this weird like evil fox creature that I really like, that I also made up. And then on this page I wanted to paint some of my cats. I wanted to do a painting for each cat, but this really burnt me out for some reason. This is using gouache and I really struggled with it at first, and it took me like a week to do because I was not feeling it. But then I like pushed myself and I finally finished each image, and I quite like how they turned out. They look a little unfinished. I don't know, they're missing something, but I do ultimately like how they turned out. So this is Rocket, Finn, Dexter, he's got his back to us though, Jazzy, this is Jazzy as well, and this is Gigi. And yeah, I really like that they're in my book because I love my babies. Then some doodles of my cowboy Clay, and then Tentamon from Digimon because he's one of my favourites, and for some reason Digimon was just on my mind, so I just put him in my book. And this one is with gouache, but I hate the brown background. And then these are just ink doodles that I thought would be fun. Then I wanted to mess around with just drawing with ballpoint pens, and I was kind of still in a FNAF mood. There is a page of Bunny and Foxy, and then this is a scan of a page that I drew for Shay because I wanted to send her some drawings of Chica. And then this is some more. It's all the glam rock stuff, except for this page. This is just Chica as a cowboy, I guess, or a cowgirl, I don't know. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was quite like therapeutic almost because I was just drawing straight away, so everything I put down was permanent, so it was just fun. Then I was in a bit of a Ghibli mood, so I wanted to paint just a couple screenshots using gouache, and I really like how they ultimately turned out. And then there's just a lemon and a tangerine, or a lemon and a tangerine, because I think we'd watched Bullet Train, so I wanted to put something in my book about it. This is a page of horses because I found one of my old books full of horse photography. I just really wanted to draw them because I don't practice drawing horses, and I thought it would be just a fun way to try it. This page is a page of my clown OCs. So this is Chuck, this is Buddy, and this is Dolly. This I did a whole video on, which I will link if you were interested in watching. But on this side is where I came up with the idea of them. I just wanted to draw a clown for some reason, which is weird because, you know, I used to be really scared of clowns when I was younger, so I think just drawing cute but slightly creepy in my own way, maybe that's why I don't mind it. And then this is just Cara and Rocket. Then on this side it is a page of Pedro Pascal and Animal Crossing, and this is where I was saying I was concerned because these are also using that printer thing, and I do think they have faded a lot, and I'm gonna be so annoyed if they just go blank one day because it's Pedro. This was really fun. This was because I was still using the paint markers from this page, and I was just having so much fun using them, especially here because I paired them with my Ohuhu fine liners, and I just really love how they look together, and the style that I have right here is just, it's so fun to draw this cute style. So I really like how they turned out. And then here are some more. It's because I got the DLC for Animal Crossing, and I was just having so much fun that I just wanted to draw them together, and yeah, I really like how they all turned out. Here's another Animal Crossing thing because I hadn't drawn, I don't remember his name. This is one of the Sanrio Animal Crossing characters, Marty, and then Cara as a clown circus character, and Caesar as well. This page is because I had been watching the Cornetto trilogy, so that's Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and At World's End. It is At World's End. Because I really love those, I grew up watching them, so I wanted to do some fan art for them because I'd never done anything like that for them before, except for this. This is Slow Horses, and it was really fun. I used the RTX markers again. I spelt cornetto wrong. It's only meant to have one R, but for some reason I put two, and I don't want to change it now because I like how it looks. This is a page from Hot Fuzz. It's using alcohol markers, Ohuhu specifically, and I really like how it turned out. And these ducks were really fun to draw, so I drew some more ducks. I think they're mallard ducks. And actually, I'm thinking this might be the beginning of my bird fixation because I don't think I'd drawn birds really before this, unless I'm like forgetting some. But yeah, Hot Fuzz is my favourite of the Cornetto trilogy, so I really wanted to do some drawings for that. I really love how they look. And then here's some more. I wanted to do something for Shaun of the Dead, considering I'd done one for all the others. This was done digitally, and I just printed it off and stuck it in my book. This is a secret duck. This is using the RTX markers again, because I got sent the other set, and I did a video for it, which is what this page is, so I will link that as well. This is another video using the Meeden acrylic paints. And then I wanted to do more with the Kara clown look that I had touched upon earlier, so I just experimented making her outfit properly, and I think this is her official outfit now because these colours just look really nice, whereas this one, you know, this is how I experimented with the colours. And then this is my dog Manchi as a three-headed Cerberus dog, and I drew him, or I drew something that reminded me of him that way in the previous sketchbook, I think. So I wanted to involve him in this like clown AU because I love my boy Manchi so much, and I thought it would just be cute to include him in something. That is the sticker I made based on his design from the previous book, and this was mostly just to cover up this page because this was using alcohol markers. So I stuck in some brown paper and drew some beetles because I drew some beetles previously in the book, and then I drew John Hancock from Fallout 4 using the RTX markers, and one of the Andys from Hot Fuzz because I like them. I think they're cool characters, and I just wanted to try colouring them in. Then I made a new clown OC named Trix, and I think she's really cute. This was me experimenting with her style, and I think this is what I've landed on because I like the heavy top with a thin bottom, because initially it was the other way around. And then this is Kara and Caesar. I can't remember who did it. I think it might have been Leyendecker. He did an image with some like circus looking people, so I wanted to draw them in that position. This is just Dijkstra, who is my pink tiger. I just wanted to include him. So I took this and I did a proper digital version because I was planning on doing an A3 painting. So I printed the digital version so I could just transfer it to the canvas. But I printed it the wrong way around the first time, so that is why I stuck it in here and then coloured it in with the RTX markers, and it looks so weird. It might be because it's got such an ugly background, just the pink with the brown. I think it's the hot pink. It looks terrible, and you can see I hid a star because I guess I changed my mind. Then some Assassin's Creed Odyssey because I randomly got in the mood for it. Then I did some more Merlin fan art because I really love Merlin and Gawain is my favourite, so I had to draw him. And I drew him using the Artify alcohol markers, which I did another video for, so that will be linked as well. But these are just some simple sketches of behind the scenes. And then this is when I did the Pokemon video recently, which I am really happy with how it turned out. And I need to digitize these ones so that I can put them up on my Redbubble store, because that is where a lot of these will be going. So if there are any of you seeing this now who have any of these designs that they want to see up on the store, just let me know down below. So there's quite a lot of Pokemon. And then some, what is it called? Why have I forgotten? Some Kingsman fan art because I don't know why, I was just in the mood. And then I watched Zombieland, which I hadn't watched in such a long time, and I enjoyed it so much. It was so good. The sequel not so much, but it doesn't matter. So I had to do some drawings. This and this are with the RTX paint markers, and I really like how this turned out. The face changed after I coloured it, but the background was an accident that I really like, because initially it was like a yellowy orange, like a mustard, and I didn't think it was working, so I changed it to the blue, and the way that the yellow peeks through, I love it so much. This was difficult because I don't usually draw things to look realistic, and I don't know that it does look realistic necessarily, but it does more than my usual style, and it was really tricky to make it look like a Twinkie in plastic, but I really like how it turned out. This page, I'm sure you can guess what's going on this page. The Fallout show came out and I watched it, and I had very low expectations for it, but I loved it. I thought it was really good. So I had to draw the Nuka-Cola girl because she is... I love her. I think she's great. And I wanted to draw her because I was still watching the show, so I didn't want to look up any pictures for reference because I didn't want spoilers, so I drew her first. And then after I finished the show, I started drawing fan art. And these are using alcohol markers. And yeah, this is where the temporary brain rot begins. I loved the ghoul. I did that on a giant post-it note, and then I drew... What's her name? Oh no. Oh well, I drew her with RTX markers, and she's supposed to look like she sat in front of a fire, but it kind of just looks like I gave her a botched tan job, so she's like a Cheeto. And then I drew Maximus down here, and I emphasized his blood with red, which I really like how that looks. I think that looks really... not dramatic, but it does stand out and I really like it. So then I decided to play the games again. So I started with New Vegas because I really like that game and I just really wanted to replay it. And so I drew Victor with RTX markers again, and I love how he turned out because they gave him so much pink and I think he looks so cute with pink. And then I drew my courier character, and I wanted her to have like a proper scar to show where the bullet that Benny shot her with. Yeah, and then these are just some fun doodles. I can't remember the names. Is the dog called Rex? I love the dog, even though his brain can be swapped out, which makes it feel like it's then not the same dog. So yeah, more doodles, more sketches from the show, just using screenshots for reference. They were a lot of fun, especially for practice. I'm annoyed with this page because I really liked it, but you can tell that it's gotten wrinkled because I did my gouache paintings on the other side, and I thought it would have flattened out from being pressed in the book, but it hasn't, and that's on me. But yeah, this is a double spread painting using the Artify brushes. I did a whole video on that, so I will link that as well. Then I was doing some art digitally because I was playing Fallout 4, so I did a little comic with Paladin Dance. This is trying out the Ohuhu paper where it doesn't bleed through. I did a video for that as well, so I will link that as well. And I just taped it in my book, but unfortunately it is wider than my book, so it kind of just hangs over the edge, but that's okay. Here is some more Fallout 4 art. This is Paladin Dance as Buzz Lightyear because I saw someone do I think they had a mod for that, and I thought it was very funny. That's with RTX markers, and then just some more sketches of the others. Yeah, and then just a couple more sketches. This is the ghoul again, Paladin Dance, sorry. I thought he looked more like Soap from Call of Duty here, which is annoying because he really doesn't. And then this is again a drawing of him with a mod. This is Hancock just saying it's the end because this is the end of the book. And I used this other comic that I made digitally just to cover up the bleed through from my tester page with a Leon sticker and a cutout of a digital drawing I did of the ghoul again. This is Doflamingo from Pokemon. From Pokemon, really? From One Piece. That there's a car. I wanted to include in the book that it's at the same time that I made these little buggy things, the digital version of Buggy, and I also made some devil fruits designs that I thought were cute. Let's see what's in the back. This is a random sketch of the ghoul that I really did not like. This is a print of my animals. I wanted a small one. I was going to stick it in my book, but I never did. This is a random knee shot of someone sitting down. I guess I was going to do something with and I didn't. This is Crocodile from One Piece at the same time that I did this, but I really don't like how he turned out, so he got hidden. Oh, this is a second class stamp that's out of date that I kept for some reason. A beetle stamp, a printed sticker of Kara. Oh, and then my actual stickers. Why are these in there? They are not going back in there. Some more out of date stamps. A beetle stamp, a really creepy Bonnie. That is horrible. And then a weird Freddy. Oh, this is a picture of a skull when I was testing with those crayons, which I actually really like. I don't know, maybe I'll make it into a digital design because I actually really like that. This was with another set of crayons because I wanted to try some more, and these crayons were not as good as the IKEA crayons. They were really difficult to layer over each other, but this is meant to be Colin from What We Do in the Shadows. And just some quotes from Red Dead. That's a really weird clay getting his face squished. This is one of those printings again of a beetle this time. Just some post-it notes of some doodles that me and my brother were talking about. This is a really gross crayon drawing of Shaun of the Dead, which I really hate, and I wanted to throw away, but I kept it. It's just in the back of my book now. Oh, and there's another one. A lot nicer. These are some doodles for my mum. She wanted some sort of cat design. Little drawing of Chuck for some reason. This is a thank you card from an artist I bought from. This is a bigger print of my animals. For some reason I've got another one. This is a simple watercolor drawing of Kara that I just wanted to mess around with. Try and do like a little gradient, and then I just covered the background in black paint to make it stand out more. This is something similar with Caesar, but in his clown getup. This is a picture of Kara and a manta ray, just using, I think these are using Posca actually. A Pikachu using crayons. And this was meant to be Percival from Merlin, but it looks not like him. It looks really bad. This is just a piece of paper that got ruined. This is some more, this is the print of the stamp, and then this is another thing, a stamp of it. And then this is a page I was planning out of Scully from X-Files for my brother's Christmas present. This was messing around with more crayons, just some eyes, and I wanted it to look like this kind of poster look, and I really like how it turned out. And then I just printed these out for some reason. I never used them, probably because they've got lines going all across them. But yeah, that's all the little bits in the back of my book. So yeah. That is it for Sketchbook 15. Took quite a while to do, and it took even longer to actually get around to filming it, so I'm sorry about making you wait. You will have to wait quite a while for the next one now, because I've only just started Sketchbook 16 and I've got a ways to go, so that's going to be a while. But I want to thank you so much for checking out this video, and if you made it this far, hi. And I want to say a huge thank you to my Patreons. Disby, Megan Palmer, Grim Clown, The Waffle of Life, Non-Toxic, Saint Nick's, LP, Kira May, Kay, Annabelle, Joanna, Sir Studlot, Mila, Phoebe, Pretty Rotten, Crescent Frog, Joanna Snake Moon, Humble Frogs, Local Fishkeeper, Mold Gull, Art Mancy, Farrar Ware, Sun Arts, Molly Marula, Hannah Anderson, Sammy Bear 127, Kenzania, Jade S, Arrow, Charlie, Malorus, Ghosty, Jess H30, Cindy King, Vlada, Art by Lavender, A Woodsy, Rainbow Tea, Breaded Nuggets, Dumb Teen, Neva Thorpe, Ivy, Lindsay Perkins, Humani, The Moth Bug, Knox, and Crime Against God. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it, and hopefully there'll be a new video soon.